Hi everyone, let's talk about Forum Trajanum from Defiant. Now, I've mentioned many times in my videos before that I am a huge fan of Defiant's designs. Tend to be the older ones, not that we haven't liked any recent ones, but we tend to go for those, although Carpe Diem from earlier this year was a lighter game than this, but still a fantastic one. This definitely, for me, has the feel of one of those older games, in that it's definitely, a point salad game. So if that's derogatory to you, then yeah, you're not gonna like this. But if you like having loads of different paths and loads of different combinations to victory, then yeah, this is one of those games. It's got the beautiful Eurogame feeling of, wanting all of these things to be done and seeing the time just completely slip away in front of you. And yeah, you're always faced with the really tough choice of, sometimes early on when your paths aren't really decided, it's not as tough that you've got these two tiles. What do I want? I can take it or leave it. But then once you are kind of on a path, especially as scoring is coming up and you need these things done, you need as many green buildings as possible built, or you can see that the other person is really going for this certain thing, and maybe they're really going for green buildings this round and they haven't got any green workers or any assistants that we can see. This tile's got green on it, so even though it's not perfect for me, maybe I want to keep it for myself so that you can't have it. There's that delicious little decision. We did kind of think, we had the same thought after we had played it for the first time, that we wondered why the tiles are face down, because it's kind of this random element then that you might just not get what you want and have to keep getting something else, and the other person could get that. And yeah, we were discussing it as this thing that we didn't really like, and then I kind of thought about it's not really as big a thing as it seemed to us. That in say Castles of Burgundy, you've got the random element of the dice, and you've got mitigating factors, you've got ways that you can adjust those dice, and in Castles of Burgundy, someone can roll perfectly and just keep getting the things that they need, and some people might have to keep adjusting their plans or spending a load of workers to adjust those dice. So really, is it that different? It just seemed at first glance that it was a thing. Although maybe it's just because we moan more about games now than we used to. But yeah, I don't think it's as big an issue as I thought it would be. It would be a different game as well. Maybe they're face down for analysis paralysis, or just to give you that surprise, that immediate decision of, okay, here's your thing that you're presented with. What do you want to do? And then that's, you have to kind of make that decision again when you get the tile from your opponent as well, when you get this new tile that's a new option for you. And you have to think about, if I take a citizen and it's my colour, maybe I'm not getting an envoy now to be able to place on the central board. They always seem to run out for me. I desperately want to keep putting more down here, but I constantly run out of them, and there's a race for filling up certain areas first to get little bonuses, more if you've got the power that boosts those up, or you want to be next to the eagles as much as you can for more and more points, or you want to race up these tracks, get columns built early. Yeah, there's so many different things at play here, and trying to carve out your path through it is really satisfying. And yeah, it's really quite quick as well. For what are you having, 4 turns per round and 3 rounds? You're only having 12 turns really. And yeah, while sometimes you are trying to think of the best way to go about things, especially since you can have a load of resources in front of you, and based on those mitigating factors, on being able to use 2 workers of the same color as a builder, or a worker and an assistant as a different colored worker, you've got these different options that are, you've got more options if you have unlocked them from your citizens. Yeah, there can be a way to get what you want. If you have some kind of combination of things, you can often think of a way round what you've been given this round as a way to get what you want. Or you can wait a little bit longer as well. It needs to be done right now if there's scoring coming up, or you can see that an area is about to be filled up and you desperately need to move your slide bar or something like that along. Yeah, it's just a really satisfying game. As I said earlier, if you don't like Stefan designs and you don't like point salad games, the interaction between players is, deciding which tile the other one wants. There can be a little bit of, negative interaction in what I did in the playthrough, actually. And it will kind of happen, I imagine. I've only played this 2 players, by the way. It's true for a lot of the games that I do. That it's happened when we've played, I think, every time, that one person, through not doing it on purpose, will cut through the path that another player is trying to build together. Or you will, not have two separate paths. You will have been building adjacent to yourself and just kind of end up fenced in. And so your bonus for people isn't going to be very big. You can do that on purpose as well. You can purposely build to see that, oh, they're connecting them up, as I did in the playthrough. Whilst he's trying to connect these things up, I'm just going to put... I don't need to do this. It's not going to lose me any points by doing it, but I'm just going to put one there and stop him joining his areas up so he can't get as big a bonus, so he's going to lose out on a load of points. It's not a huge thing. If you want more interactivity between players, there's that. That's the extent of it. But yeah, we don't want interactivity between players really in that way. But yeah, it's a mild thing, and it can be that you realise that is going to happen, that you are going to end up fenced in, or you're going to have all these disparate little groups of your workers instead, and so you don't necessarily need to be boosting up your slide bar and things like that, because that's not what's important to you. You want to try and get as many citizens as possible and get as many different buildings as possible, or satisfy the Trajan tasks, although you do get more points for those if you do the slide bar and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot to think about here, but yeah, I think it is a really nice package, a really satisfying game, one that does harken back to the older style that we like, where you are being faced with these really tough choices and yeah, just feeling the time race away before you, and have so many different paths to victory that hopefully you'll be able to try different ones as you play through it. But yeah, the playthrough is there for you to see whether you would be interested in the game. And yeah, that's about all I've got to say really. If you want more playthroughs, there's loads on this channel. It's Christmas, by the way. Yay! I haven't got the one that says a Christmas gift for you. Mine's an 80s one. That's in case anyone comments that it shouldn't be called that. Anyway, this was about Forum Trajanum, not the thing that's in the background that I'm not supposed to mention. I'm supposed to be all cool and just say that it's not there. Anyway, this video should have finished by now. Watch the playthrough if you haven't. It's probably really good.